Welcome along. It is the Irish Golfer podcast, and we've been away for a little while. We've been busy doing different things, so we decided we better come back with a bang and make this one a good one and one to remember. This one's brought to you by Flowgas, making greens greener, and as you all know, they do brilliant things for Irish golf, all the way at amateur level up to your elite touring professionals at the top. And someone who's looking to make her way in the professional game over the next few months is Douglas star Sara Byrne. Sarah, thanks for joining us. How are things?
All good now, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. All American has a nice ring to it, I suppose.
Yeah, that definitely, yeah, that was a nice cherry on top to finish off the collegiate career now, to be fair. So I was kind of hoping for it by the time national was kind of coming around. So it was a little bit of a waiting game. But once I got that text message from my coach, it was a nice feeling.
Yeah, great way to end a brilliant year, to be fair. And look, you're home now. You've been home for a couple of weeks now at this stage, and Miami's been and gone. How would you sum up the 4 years?
Probably the best 4 years of my life, to be honest. I had the best time. What's not to love about South Florida, especially in Miami. And then I met like the best people. I have the best group of friends and the support that was around me for the last couple of years. And obviously, it was pretty good on the golf side, which was kind of most important. But yeah, no, I was absolutely over the moon with the 4 years. Just especially how it ended. I kind of ended on such a high for the last year and a half. So it was really worth it, and I got everything I needed out of Miami. So it was a really good time.
Yeah, like you mentioned there, the last 18 months, a senior go up one, if not like a multitude of levels. Like you won the Irish Women's Close, two collegiate wins with Miami, six top tens and seven starts in 2024 alone. You broke a couple of scoring records for Miami. Like, what do you put that down to? Because obviously something changed or something just clicked.
Yeah, well, obviously I've been I'm a hard worker, so like there was no like when I was practicing, I was just kind of getting a little bit impatient that it wasn't all kind of coming together on the course. But we worked a lot mentally, which I think was kind of the glue that kind of meshed everything together. I just became so much freer on the golf course. I put a lot less pressure on myself. I took out any expectations, and I just made everything kind of like a challenge. I love to compete. I'm very competitive. I want to come over any challenge that there is out there and just kind of went for it.
Yeah, and there was a coaching change then as well, I think, midway through your 4 years there as well. Did that help or did that maybe change something in a way?
Oh, 100% helped. Because I knew the head coach coming in, Janice Olivencia, she had spent such a long time in Florida. She had 11 years at assistant coach in the University of Florida, and obviously University of Florida was has been a very successful golf program. So I was excited for her to come in. And I literally like sat down with her the first time I had gotten back to college when she came in after for my third year, and I was like, please help. I was like, I'm stuck. I can't seem to like progress any further. I don't know what it is that like I was like, I don't know how to improve anymore. So I was like, please help me. I'll take on any advice. I was like, work me so hard. I don't care. Like literally do anything to make me better and like I will do it. Um, and she did. She really did. It was tough. It wasn't an easy thing to do. Just to admit that I was like, I don't know how to do it anymore by myself. Like I need help. And I think that's where the improvement could come really quickly because she was like, okay, well, I was like a sponge. I was like, tell me anything, I'll do it. Like, I know you're trying to make me better. Like I had great trust. She was like, okay, you trust me. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, let's do it. And so I did everything she told me I did. And I worked really hard. And then, yeah, it just all kind of fell into place.
Like I assume that's quite a brave thing to do as well, because I can imagine the things that the coaches would have been telling you wouldn't have all been, lovey-dovey. There would have been some harsh truths there, I'd imagine as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely wasn't any lovey-dovey. Maybe by the end they were like, "Yay, you're doing great. That's kind of nice." But no, the it was very tough conversations, and I'm quite a headstrong kind of person. I like to think like what I do is always right, and like I'm always right. And I kind of was admitting to myself that I'm not. So that wasn't easy just to take that first step, and then to really listen to what they had to say and be very accountable with what I was doing, how I was feeling, how I was like reacting to everything and how I was carrying myself. It was there was definitely a big switch up there, like on the course and off the course. And that was the thing about it. It wasn't just improving my golf game, it was like improving me as a person, like outside of golf. Like that was their main goal too. And it just all kind of fed into each other. And since I was so open to it, I was like, okay, like if you tell me I need to change, I'll change. So yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing to do, but I was so just stuck and frustrated that my golf game wasn't didn't seem to be like making the strides that I thought it would be. So and I just all I want to do is play golf and go pro and everything. So I was like, look, if I want to be successful, I will literally do anything to make me better. So I think that was kind of I just have that determination to get better, and that was kind of how it kind of all fed in.
Yeah, and it absolutely paid off, to be fair. Like everyone knows that the US colleges, they kind of send out scouts, across Europe at certain tournaments to pick on a few players. So how did you end up choosing Miami? I suppose, when was your first interaction with, a Miami coach or someone like that?
Actually, it's funny. I played the German girls in 2018, I think it was, or 2017, and they had actually watched me and seen me, and I never really thought about University of Miami. It wasn't really on my radar. And I saw them, and I was like, oh, well, that actually could work. And I looked into it, and they like they had like we I saw him watching me, the assistant coach at the time, and I was like, yes, okay, let's try contact them. And we did, and it just kind of clicked as soon as we started talking to the coaches there, which was really fun. And then I went to visit it in my September of my fifth year in secondary school, and I literally stepped on campus. I didn't even see the facilities. I literally stepped on campus, and I was like, I am not going anywhere else. Like I don't care. They told me there was no indoor facilities, and the golf course is like 5 minutes away. I was like, we're set. I was like, I do not want to go anywhere else. So
You're
I
right.
canceled all like college trips I was supposed to go on more after. And I rang them. I was like, I'm not coming. I was like, I'm coming. So it was literally like they said, like I had heard from other players before that gone to the States. They were like, you'll know where you want to go when you like step on campus and you feel it out. Like you just get that feeling. And literally I took one step on and I was like, I have the feeling. Thank you. I think this is where I want to come. So
Yeah, that's a handy way to make a decision, all right. And obviously the 4 years, it was kind of a steady progression up until the last 18 months. And like this year alone, like a terrific final year, which I'd imagine is very satisfying, it must be said, because you got the best female student athlete and then the female scholar athlete as well at the end of year awards. Like for Miami, it's such a college with a proud sporting tradition, particularly in basketball, as we all know. So to be in and amongst all that is pretty cool, I'd imagine.
yeah, it was kind of a weird feeling because I was like, I had gotten the Scholar Athlete Award just before, and like at the award ceremony, it's kind of like one award, kind of like there was like one athlete per award, like you wouldn't really get two, unless you were doing like something really special. I kind of just never really crossed my mind, and then when female athlete of the year, and then my name got called, I was like, oh wow, I was kind of like shaking going up on stage. I kind of was a little bit lost for words, to be honest, just because like women's golf wouldn't be the biggest sport in a like athletic department, like the basketball players and the volleyball players and everything. Um, there's so much media more around them and how they're performing. They're doing a lot better. And just because it's a bigger sport. And then yeah, so then when my name got called, I was like, wow, I think it was just a nice recognition to get for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been home now for a couple of weeks. Like, does it almost feel that you're getting ready for a new season because you've had that break now between the end of the collegiate year with the regionals and you're going to get stuck into, I suppose, the championship season back home in Ireland and in Europe?
Yeah, absolutely. I have kind of, it was nice to take a little bit of a break after regionals and everything. And then it was honestly a lot going on. I had like the craziest kind of 2 3 weeks ever. I had like my graduation. I had to move out of my apartment. I had to try and sell my car over there. I had to get all my bags home. Like it was such a crazy few weeks. And I was doing a lot of media when I came home here, and it's just been a really hectic few weeks. And now it's kind of like getting back into prep mode and back into like tournament mode. Coming into the next couple of weeks, because once kind of June starts and I kind of hit the road again, it's all go for summer season.
Yeah, exactly. And professional golf then at the end of the year, hopefully as well. Like that's obviously the plan. But you've been laying the foundations for that kind of since you've been home with your fundraiser in Douglas, various sponsorships, the likes of Lexus, Dromoland, for Caddy. So you're going to be ready to go when you do finally turn professional.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and my dad have been kind of working hard behind the scenes the last couple of months to get everything kind of nailed down. And thankfully, it all kind of has kind of like they were like, as soon as you come home, like we'd love to like get everything sorted. So that's been really good. I think it's kind of a freeing thing now. I can literally just go play golf all summer, and then once I turn pro, I have everything sorted. So it's in a good feeling for sure. And it's makes the summer gonna be a lot easier because it's not bait like all my performances are kind of done and to get me to the point where I was able to get sponsorships really easily and stuff like that. So I'm kind of lucky to be at that point where I can literally just now go and play some golf.
Yeah, exactly. It frees you up. And what does the summer look like for yourself? I know you've got the amateur and the Palmer Cup, which we'll obviously touch on. Curtis Cup is obviously a big goal. Will you be playing more in Ireland or will you kind of travel around Europe to a lot of the bigger events?
It'll be a little bit of both. Obviously, like the women's amateur in Portmarnock and Palmer Cup, are kind of going to be my two highlights of the year, really, because they're both in Ireland. It's the major tournaments, and Palmer Cup is such a prestigious thing to get picked for. So, first off, though, I go to France on June 4th, and I play an LET Access event. And then once I do that, I come back and I have a little bit of time to prep for the women's amateur in Portmarnock. Play Portmarnock, hopefully go straight to Palmer Cup in Lahinch, and then go straight from there to hopefully European teams are all selected and stuff like that. And then yeah, I take a tiny bit of a break, and then August hits, and August will hopefully be the busiest month I've ever had. Hopefully it will be home internationals, and then if all goes well, I'm hoping to get Curtis Cup. It all kind of depends. So like we'll have Curtis Cup thrown in August. We'll have LPGA Q School thrown in August. We'll have training days put in there. So I'm hoping to kind of be back to back to back with that one. And then September comes and hopefully the professional debuts will be coming out of it right about then too. So
Yeah, plenty of golf to be played. Anyway, like I've been saying for the last couple of years that Irish women's golf could really explode over the next few years because we're going to have a handful of new professionals like yourself. Lauren Walsh has already turned pro. Anya Dunnigan's at the US Women's Open again. Like there's a huge crop that are really going to inspire the next generation as well. And it looks like you're going to be part of that.
yeah, hopefully like it's like you can see that women's golf and girls golf is getting bigger and bigger kind of each year. And like it's kind of starting like Leona getting on LPGA, playing Salam Cup, like being on the TV, being all over social media. Like it's only going to start to kind of get the game bigger. Obviously like Golf Ireland is doing a great job with that too. And I think it's just gonna just keep growing and growing. And hopefully in the next couple of years, like we already have Lauren on the European tour, like hopefully I'll be up there kind of soon. And the girls like Anya, Beth, and Anna Foster, they're all kind of coming through as well. So I think it's a hopefully a bright future ahead, and hopefully get all the younger girls kind of watching us on TV or kind of seeing us around the place playing golf and make it a bit more bigger and keep growing the game as much as possible. It's kind of a fun thing to be a part of for sure. Just kind of like seeing it already. Like when I had my fundraiser day in Douglas, we had that clinic for all the little girls up there, and I had like 15 or 8 of the 18 of them show up, and I was like, whoa. I was like, that is a lot more than what I've been when I was younger. So it's definitely kind of cool to see it kind of grow and rise. So
Yeah, because like I suppose growing up you might have had to play, with the lads. You might have been the only girl there or maybe one of two girls there. So it just shows how
yeah.
the interest is starting to peak.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just kind of like it's such a bright future ahead. I think for it's just women's sports in general is after getting really, really big and really, really popular. Even like in the States, you have women's basketball is just absolutely taking off with Caitlin Clark and stuff. Like all it takes is one or two and then it just will explode. So that's kind of I feel like what's happening and what's going to happen in the next couple of years. So it's a really cool feeling. It's great to see. And I'm really happy for the younger girls kind of growing up that they have more girls to play with. They have their friends in school and I think it will just make people like love the game a little bit more, which is I think is a really great thing.
Yeah. And for yourself, when did you decide to take golf seriously? Like when did you decide, right, I'm going to have a right go at trying to make it as a professional? Because like when you were growing up, there weren't, Irish female players, just wasn't really a thing. Leona wasn't really on tour until after COVID, the Women's Irish Open was gone off the schedule. So how did you like what kind of made you decide to have a right go at this?
Well, it's always been my dream to kind of do it from such a young age. Literally kind of growing up, like all I wanted to do was play golf and not like I was just very unwavering about it. Like there was nothing else I ever wanted to do. And then obviously going to college in the States, it was like kind of just a stepping stone. And then kind of halfway through my point, when I was kind of stuck, I was like, I'm not good enough at this point to like want to go pro or whatever. So that's where I kind of the whole mentality switch kind of came in. And I think it just really solidified myself, like with the performances I kind of put in the last year and a half. I played in a few pro events. I made the cut at the Irish Open, like, and even the Irish Open solidified it for me that like once I played that week and how I saw it was all set up, it was just like a dream. I literally was like, this is what I want my life to be. I want to do this every week. I want to travel. I know it's not going to be a glamorous life at the beginning and all that. I was like, I don't care like that. I want to do. And I think thankfully the last kind of year solidified that a little bit for me, kind of how I was performing. I was like, you know what, like I can do this if I just keep working hard, keep getting better. So
Yeah, like the Irish Open, the last couple of years down in Dromoland has been absolutely fantastic. And you've obviously got your nice little sponsorship there with Dromoland as well. Like that's an event on the LET that could probably become the biggest one outside of the majors on the LET over the next couple of years. Like it looks like it could really grow into something huge.
yeah, absolutely. I think the only thing like stopping it is the prize money for it at the minute. It's just not as big as what the other ones would be, but the way it's run is run like literally a major championship is run. Like it is so prestigious. Like every single player that came and played, they're like, I feel like I'm playing on the LPGA this week. The course setup, the way we're treated, like the way it's all like set up, the amount of fans we have, the support here. It's literally like like a major tournament on the LPGA, you know. So I think that's something really positive, and like that's why it makes it so special too when we're playing in it. I was like, I know that not every week on LET might look like this. That's for sure. It's like a home open, but it's definitely one of the most special weeks on tour, and every player says that, not just Irish players. Literally every single player I talked to from all over Europe, they were like, It's literally the best week on the calendar."
Yeah. And like what LET and LPGA players would you be looking up to now these days?
It's funny because like I feel like I'm starting to know a few kind of getting on tour. Like one of my um teammates in college, her name is Natalia. She was from Russia. She has her LPJ card, LET card, and she's like a year younger than me, eating it up out there. So it's funny kind of just to see that. But it's always been like Leona, obviously, kind of since growing up in Ireland, always kind of looking up to her. But you see out there what Nelly Corda is doing, just kind of literally winning everything she plays in. It's obviously pretty cool to witness some history being made. So um it's funny because all I want to do is kind of compare my games to them and see how far off I am and like what areas I need to improve on. And then seeing Lauren Walsh doing so well on European tour, I'm like, she's one of my best friends. I grew up playing golf with her since I was like 10. So it's pretty cool to kind of get in that mindset of realization that okay, like they're all out there, like you can do it too.
Yeah, like Lawrence had a great couple of weeks recently, to be fair. Would you, like ahead of turning pro, would you sound out advice from anybody, like be it Lauren or Leona even, or anyone who's maybe gone before you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I even my head coach was on tour on the European tour for 5 and 6 years. So I've been kind of extracting advice from them. I've been asking them loads of questions. I'm texting Lauren all the time saying how she's getting on and what it's like. And I know a few people on the LET and the LPGA that I have been asking already kind of certain things about like Q schools and all that kind of stuff. So, oh, 100% I will be asking advice from many different people.
Yeah, the more advice, the better. And there's obviously a lot of golf to play between, now and then when you do decide to enter the pro ranks. And we've got some big events in Ireland, as we touched on there, like the Amateur Championship in Portmarnock. That's just going to be an unreal week. And it's one everybody is buzzing for, particularly anybody from Ireland who wants to do well. And we've got a great crop of amateurs like yourself and Anya and Beth who'll be going there. Kate as well, obviously being a member. So we'll have plenty of strong runners looking to go deep in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, like the last time I was there for men, like James Fugger had won. So I think it's a little bit of inspiration there, a little bit. And like one of those weeks, it's such a long week, but it's one of the most special weeks on the calendar. It's like a major tournament. And yeah, like whatever happens, happens. But I think we're all kind of bidding for a great week there. Like no matter what happens, I feel like the media towards it has been great. I think a lot of people know about it, and I think it's going to be a really special week for everybody.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a few people maybe into the quarterfinals or semi-finals and get a big crowd there over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that would do so much for the game, I think, as well, because it gets like I know the last kind of couple matches get put on like a live stream for people to watch too. So I think it's definitely a good opportunity for to get a lot of spotlight for a lot of the players and especially the Irish ones. So I think hopefully it'll be a good week, but golf is a fickle game. You can never know exactly what's going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. And like I know it's probably the biggest amateur event at the moment, but it would be nice for yourself personally, I'd imagine, to bow out of amateur golf with a win somewhere along the line this summer as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm always working towards. Every tournament I play, I want to win. It just depends if it's my week or if it's not, and we learn from things. But absolutely, that's definitely high up on the list of things I want to do is win something along the way of throughout summer. So it would be nice to kind of end my amateur career on even a higher note. I'm very even if it ended today, I'd be very happy with everything I've accomplished. So everything from here on in is a bonus. So
Yeah, absolutely. And the Arnold Palmer Cup in Lahinch, that's going to be cool as well because it's obviously on home soil for the likes of yourself. It's a nice reward for your college performances. Like that's a real kind of ticking the box considering like the way you've played over the last 18 months. And there's thousands of college players around the world, particularly in America. So to be one of the top 24 in the international team is pretty cool.
yeah, absolutely. Honestly, it got an email like players that are like in contention for get an email for it. I think it's like in January or maybe a little bit before it. So it honestly hadn't like popped into my head. Funnily enough, I just never really thought about it until that email came through. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay. And that's definitely one I really want to say it was on in the hinge. I was obviously it's like the pinnacle team for collegiate golf because like it's literally the 24 best international players in college over there, and that's 12 girls and 12 guys. So it's very much tough to get picked for. So I literally it was I kind of put a little bit of pressure on myself, but I also was like, look, let's just go freewheel it for another semester, see what happens, see what we can do. And once I got the call that I was picked, it was a very satisfying feeling for sure because I was working so hard.
And I suppose you'll be able to meet up with college players in the States who you won't have seen now for a few months by the time it rolls around. So that'll be nice for you considering you've only just, left Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I know so many of the players, not just on the international team, but also on the US team. I think it's going to be a great week to have them all over in Ireland and then kind of say a final goodbye because you never know in college golf when it's literally going to be your last event come postseason. Like you're going to play conference, you don't know if you're going to play regionals, and then you don't know if you're going to play nationals at the end. So you never really know when the last time you're going to see everyone is. So it's going to be nice to see everyone say a final goodbyes in such a cool way at a Palmer Cup. So
Yeah, it's funny as well. You don't know what kind of weather we end up getting in Lange, even though it's in July. So some of the Americans coming across could be in for a bit of a culture shock as well.
yeah, well, hopefully we'll have some sun shining to get the crowds out. So that would be that would be ideal. So but yeah, no, you never know what we're gonna get. So it's gonna be a fun week no matter what though. And the hinges, it's honestly I've said that it's one of my favorite courses in Ireland. I've played for years. I absolutely love it down there. So it's gonna be a special week no matter what.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned there the Curtis Cup, which is probably a bit away. You have a lot of work to do to get a selection for that. But how motivated are you to make that team? Because I suppose like it's almost the pinnacle of women's amateur golf, as in the way the Walker Cup is for the men. So that'll be a great way to round off the amateur career.
Yeah, absolutely. Like once it was on, I think it was on in Dunleary in like 2014, 2015, 2016 around that time. I can't really remember. And I watched Maria Dawn, Olivia Mahaffey and Leona all win it. And that was when I was like, okay, I really want to play that. And then I had it in my head, I'd be like, it would just be like kind of picture perfect if I could finish off on a Curtis Cup and then turn pro after. So it's kind of just aligning up a little bit. So it's definitely that's definitely one that I really, really want and really, really want to get. So again, just have to keep working hard doing everything. It's something I can't control. You can't control what other people do, you can't control who people pick. So but it's definitely up there in what I want. So hopefully a good summer and everything will be solidified for it. So
Yeah, GB and I haven't won it for a little while now at this stage, so it'd be nice if you could play a part in arresting that run against the US.
actually that would be a perfect ending to it all.
Like, what would you say sitting here today has been the highlight of your amateur career so far? Because you've achieved so much, you've won plenty, and you've collected so many other little accolades along the way. You know, you've represented Ireland countless times now at this stage, played in the world amateur teams. If you had to pick one that kind of sits with you now, what would it be?
Um, it's a tough one because I feel like so much has happened in the last like 12 months to pick one, but either playing World Amateur Team Championships because that was I worked so hard to get on that team. It was crazy. Me and my coach put in a lot of hours to try and make my game better to get on that team, so that was good. And then but either the and getting the low amateur at the Irish Open was probably a highlight of the year just because of how special the week was. I had all my family then watching me and loads of my friends were there, so I got to celebrate that with them. So I think that one's kind of stuck with me and it kind of that one helped me kind of kick-started into college again for the last year. So I think that one was another highlight.
Cool. And just actually a quick one, Sarah. It's interesting the way the amateur schedule all works out because it is pretty hectic and it can be hard to get a break from it sometimes. You're almost like GAA players, the way the season can be so crammed in, particularly for yourself being in America, like your
Mhm.
schedule is so packed. And then you're coming back to Ireland to play another busy schedule as well. So you are kind of almost like GAA players in the way you have so much time, but all your time is taken up by playing golf.
Yeah, actually, it's very true. It's very busy and hectic schedule, it always has been. Because like with the way the college has been, it's like I have a season from September to the very start of November, and then we'll have November, December off, and then you kind of come back, and then you have a January until middle of May, end of May, and then you come back, and then you have middle of June to the very end of August, with summer season. So it's you don't really get too much time off. But for me, that works. I've learned like even last summer, I packed up my season as literally as much as I could. I went back to back to back and flying to different countries, all the different all over summer. So and I've learned that works for me. I love being on the road. I once I have all my hard work done, which thankfully I do, is that you just kind of go at it and play tournaments and play competitive golf. So it works for me. I love it. I do need to take about 1 or 2 weeks off in July. I do try and do that. So just to kind of refresh the brain and refresh the body because you definitely do need some R&R. The body kind of takes a few hits every so often. So but it works for me. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So busy season, busy schedule, and honestly, that's where I've learned I play my best golf. So it works.
Good stuff. You could be doing worse things to be fair. Sarah, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. And
Absolutely.
anyone who's listening can check out irishgolfer.ie and the Irish Golfer magazine as well. We'll have all of Sarah's progress tracked on the website and in print. So you can keep an eye out for that. Sarah, thanks a million again for joining us.